Okay, so let me describe the situation that's happening in this video, or you can go back and like read the comments if you want. So basically this boy at the science center is pushing kids and being like really aggressive. Child doesn't seem to have like any parent around because nobody's stepping in. Finally, a dad had enough, and the little boy basically did something to his son, stepped in and was kind of like scolding the kid. You're not going to do this. And so the question was, would you step in as a parent if there's nobody parenting this child? The answer is yes. There is no shame in my game. Even if it isn't my child, if I'm witnessing a potential safety problem and the child that's causing the safety issue doesn't seem to be getting parented or watched, I will step in and say something. Now, I may not be stern depending on what age they are. Like, if it's a small child, I would be like, where's your mommy and daddy? And then I would say to the parent, hey, just, heads up, like, this seems like an accident's gonna happen, like in a gentle way, and just kind of like let them deal with it or not deal with it. Or I would be very much like, let's be careful, we don't want to hurt each other. Let me tell you something, especially with like older kids, I always say something. To give you an example, so we live in this community that has a bunch of different pools. In fact, I'm at one right now. And there's these areas that are specifically made for children that are not strong swimmers or like younger children. Like that, for example. There was a time that I was here and these 10 to 12-year-olds were acting crazy, like swinging and like knocking little kids over, and all of these parents are just kind of like, of the small children, we're just like, what do we do? And the lifeguards were kind of like, well, like, I guess they could do that, like they're swimming. And they were coming so close to like trampling over kids. They were not being aware of their surroundings, and there's like little toddlers in the area and there's no parent around. So I said something. I think you guys are too old to be playing in here, and if you are going to be in here, there's little children around that you need to be aware of. Stop running, slow down, and pay attention to your surroundings. When it becomes a safety concern, I will always step in. There was another time that this child who was probably like 6 or 8, for some reason his parents weren't watching him, which was really weird because that seems really young to like not have a parent watching you at a pool. Kept coming up to my son, ripping toys out of my son's hands. My son is 3, he was like 3 years old at the time, and he kept taking them away and like playing with them on his own. And like, I think that most parents are like, oh yeah, we want to share. I'm like, that's not sharing. You're just taking this toy away from my son, which is his toy. He brought it. Mama, don't play. At first we tried sharing, and I was asking the little boy, we can share our toy with you. And the little boy was like, no, and just took it and would like go away. Again, no parent in sight. I'm looking for the parent, no parents around. So I told my son, I got it. And I walked over and I took that toy right out of that little boy's hand, and I looked at him and I said, if you don't want to share this toy with us, then we'll just take it back because it's our toy. And I walked away. And if the parent ever came up to me, I would have said something. These are our toys, and your son doesn't seem to want to share, so we're just going to take them back, and we're not going to share them because they're ours. But I need to know what you mama bears or papa bears would have done in that situation.